Flims and Laax, well, it's an area I haven't actually skied in before. Flims is a slightly more sort of old-fashioned Swiss town with sort of pretty chalets, more sort of chocolate boxy, if you want, with sort of hotels and apartments. Whereas Laax, well, it's much more of a sort of young person's resort. This is a Rocks Resort, which is part of the village, purpose-built. They're sort of buy-to-let flats, and it's a sort of self-contained unit with all its sort of shops, bars, ski hut and restaurants all contained in the same area. And well, it's a freestyle resort is how it's all built here in Laax. Embraced snowboarding, well, many years ago, one of the first resorts to embrace snowboarding in the Alps, and it's got one of the most, well, huge fun park. I claim to be the biggest in the Alps. Not sure if that's actually correct, but certainly big enough. And it attracts a lot of international events here. The Burton Open comes here. It's been coming here for many years now, which is the biggest event in the snowboarding calendar. All the top riders come to this. Shaun White not coming, he's doing his own thing, but otherwise a host of top riders coming to the event, and preparations well underway. Huge great kickers being grafted and shaped at the moment. And as well as the attractions up in the mountains, there's some attractions of freestylers down in town itself. This is the Laax Freestyle Academy, and a fantastic addition to the snow sports scene here. As you can see, there's ramps and there's kickers, and everyone ends up in this huge foam pit as they practice their tricks or just do it for fun. It's a really good place. I mean, either to come on a day when the weather's absolutely dreadful or no lifts open, or after skiing and snowboarding as well. But very popular indeed, and there are plans to expand it into other resorts and indeed other cities across Europe. So I'm sure that will be happening, because it's very positive attraction here. In terms of the slopes, well, it's a very big ski area. It's not the biggest in the Alps, far from it, but nevertheless extensive terrain, and you can easily keep yourself amused here for a week or so. There's no really steep terrain. There's a few runs that are steep, but it's not the sort of St Anton, Verbier, Chamonix, Le Grave of this world, far from it. But nevertheless, huge amount of terrain here, ideal for freestylers as they ski around on the wide slopes here. And there's some great little natural features, whether it be natural half pipes and jumps and whatever. So really good ski area. And one of its strange claims to fame is it's probably got about the most interesting toilet in the Alps. Behind these two windows here, there's a hers and his loo. Females on the left here, and men on the right, and once inside, one of the most spectacular views you can see from a toilet, I should imagine, in the Alps. The windows here, well, they're only one way, I'm pleased to say, so even though you can see out, people can't see in as you sit there answering a call of nature. But nevertheless, it's yeah, amazing to sit on the toilet and have a view like this stretched out before you. But of course it gets big queues, so you can't hang about in here, or the people coming in next will get rather annoyed. And well, the same sort of theme, as it were, is represented down in Laax as well, with this bar here. I didn't actually go in it, so I can't tell you if the name is an accurate description of the bar inside, but nevertheless a lot of people posing for photos as always with a bar like this, and I'm told the name crap means stone, so it's Stone Bar as opposed to something else. I'm actually here with the company Powder Burn, which is, well, one of the luxury British tour operators. Fantastic company, not cheap, but you get what you pay for here. Fantastic service from the staff, and there's a little minibus that takes you from the hotel or your apartment to the slopes themselves, and the staff here, well, they really can't do too much for you. Very helpful indeed. And well, I'm actually staying in this hotel here. I think it's the most luxurious hotel I've stayed in this winter, and it's really sort of steeped in old-fashioned Swiss charm. It's the Waldhaus here in Flims, and yeah, if you've got the money and the budget and can afford it, it comes thoroughly recommended. And if you really do want to treat yourself, this is perhaps the place to come. And as well as the good slopes that I mentioned earlier on here in Flims and Laax, there's another Swiss resort called Lenzerheide, which is, well, only a short drive away there, and a day trip there is very easy indeed. And next winter it's actually linking up with Arosa, so Arosa and Lenzerheide will be linked for next season, creating again another large ski area in central Switzerland. So that's good news, and of course, as I said, pop round there for a day gives a nice little bit of variety. So overall, well, we're halfway through the winter now, and yeah, it's been, I think, a very good winter indeed. Perhaps not as good as some people are saying. We had some early season snowfalls that came in huge amounts, as I'm sure you know, over in western Switzerland, and well, the French Alps as well. Many of the resorts the Brits go to had fantastic snow levels. Not quite so good here, but nevertheless very good in central and eastern Alps, but not quite as good as over in the west. All in all, yeah, we need a bit more snow here, but as I said, some is forecast, and despite the fact the temperature has warmed up, the huge amounts of snow we had earlier in the season is preserving things nicely. So half term, I'd say, is going to be pretty good wherever you go. And later in the season, of course, we can't tell what's going to happen as we head towards Easter, but there's so much snow that it would take something rather strange to wash it all away. So all in all, halfway through the season, snow conditions I can report excellent. This is James Cove for PlanetSKI in Flims, Laax in central Switzerland.